Today's main topic is Hope-Filled Financial FootStep number 5, Secure Your Future. This, more or less, is the replacement to Dave Ramsey's baby step number 4. Dave Ramsey talks about investing 15% of your income after you're debt-free and after you have an emergency fund, and saving that 15% toward your retirement, toward your financial future. But what if you're starting much later in life? 15% might not be enough for you to achieve your retirement goals, to live out your hope-filled financial future. And what if your income goes up and down and you're not able to maintain that healthy 15% that Dave Ramsey talks about? Or let's say you follow the money guys. The money guys want you to be saving even more than that. I think they're 20% or more going toward investments. You see, there are a lot of plans out there that are structured to give you a tangible target for saving up your retirement so that you can secure your financial future. All of those finite plans are good, healthy, generic advice that are not custom fit to your situation nor your particular goals. And I don't want to come in here into the financial space onto this podcast and say, you need to save X percent of your income, or you need to save X number of dollars, or you need to hit this particular milestone by this point, or you're going to struggle. Because that, to me, while giving you something concrete, is not letting you understand how important this step is. And it's not helping you understand how what matters to you, your goals, can influence this plan. For that reason, for the rest of this podcast, I want to talk about how you can understand your financial future, your financial goals for retirement, and then engage with a plan that allows you to secure your future in a way that is uniquely yours. I want you to understand the process that allows you to grasp this plan and write it out yourself, for your good, and the good of those you love. Let's break this down into a few points. Point number 1, once you hit Hope-Filled Financial FootStep number 5, securing your future, you need to begin your plan with the end in mind. You need to understand how you're going to take your nest egg, in whatever form it takes, and convert it into income for you so that you can replace your income with whatever you have in your nest egg. This is the end goal of saving for retirement. This is the end goal of your accumulation phase, to be able to replace your income. And if you don't know how you're going to convert your nest egg into that income replacement, how do you know that your plan's going to work? You need to be able to answer, how much money do I need to retire when it's time? You see, retirement is not an age. Retirement is more than just a season of life. It starts when you hit a financial number, when you hit a goal that enables you to retire, enables you to work because you want to, not because you have to. Once you hit that point, you can say you're retired even if you continue to engage with work that you love. Because at any moment, you could stop working and fully replace your income for what you need using your nest egg. This is why I have focused so much in the last year and a half of this podcast on distribution strategy stuff. So that when you get to this part of your Hope-Filled Financial FootSteps, you can start to learn about distribution strategies in a way that allows you to begin your plan with the end in mind. Second point, now what we need to do is take our financial number, the amount that you need to retire. You understand your plan with the end in mind. Now, how are you going to get there? If you're working through the Hope-Filled Financial FootSteps and you just hit number 5, you probably don't have all the money that you need to retire in the future saved up right now. You need to engage now within an accumulation plan that is going to get you to that number when you want to hit that number. And there are a lot of different ways to do it. You can consider a flat contribution over time. You can consider front-loading your contributions and potentially hitting coasting financial independence like Amanda and I did in the story. Or you can engage with some other type of plan that fits your lifestyle, your goals, your situation. You need to engage with a plan that makes sense for you on paper, that when you look at it, you can say, I know within a margin of error, I'm going to be able to hit my retirement goal. You got to be able to look at it and give yourself a little bit of wiggle room too. Know that life's going to happen. The plan looks great on paper, but if you have 1 month where you miss it, are you going to fall short of your plan when you're not able to contribute there because something happened? There was an emergency. There was a crisis. Life happened to you. I think this is why I personally front loaded my accumulation phase, knowing full well that's not for everybody. So for this point, I want you to be brainstorming different patterns for your accumulation phase and where you're going to be investing that money. There's a lot to understand when it comes to what kind of account are you going to invest in. Is it going to be Roth? Is it going to be traditional? And this starts to get us into the questionable territory for the podcast where we're talking about tax rates today versus tax rates tomorrow. And does this constitute financial advice? No, please refer to the description. There I have a nice disclaimer. But what you need to know is that you should consult with someone who understands the difference between Roth accounts, IRAs, 401ks, 403bs, traditional dollars, tax sheltered money, pre-tax, post-tax, all of the above, so that you can understand what your plan is. You need to understand how RMDs are going to come into effect here. You can listen to shows like mine and shows like The Money Guys to better understand it, but your particular situation may have something that you don't recognize that changes things. So at some point, you're going to need to ask them. A good default, so that you're not delaying your investing until you make a decision, is to follow Dave Ramsey's advice on getting your employer match in general, then engaging with Roth dollars after that. And if you need to save more, go traditional. Match beats Roth meets traditional. That's Dave Ramsey's advice. I think it's a good default starting point before starting to get a little bit more detailed with any plans that might deviate. In other words, you're going to want to, when consulting with a financial expert, have a good reason to deviate from the default that works for many so that, well, you understand why you're not following that pattern. And that leads me to point number 3. You've started a plan with the end in mind. You've looked at different accumulation strategies. You've brainstormed how much you need to be putting aside, how it's invested, and where it's invested. You've got something on paper. Don't engage with that plan unless you understand it. Don't integrate a piece to the puzzle unless you understand it. Please know that the easiest way to mess up your hope-filled financial future in hope-filled financial footstep number 5 is to fall short of understanding your own plan. Falling short of understanding your plan is to fall short of being fully invested in your financial future. And if you do fall short of that, well, you're more likely to make a decision that sacrifices that financial future or reacts in a way that is, on paper, irrational. We are human. We make decisions off of emotions. And we make decisions out of fear. We make decisions out of hope. We need to understand ourselves and understand our plan well enough to get past the human knee-jerk reactions that we might have that can really derail our plan. Finally, well, not like a 4th point, I want you to understand your retirement goals as you're trying to understand your plan. I did an episode a while back about the top 4 retirement goals that may be in competition for each other for your distribution strategies. I want you to be thinking about these goals. If you haven't heard that episode, I do recommend that you go back and listen to it. Think about your retirement goals. Do you want to leave a large nest egg to your kids? Do you want to spend everything that you save up? Do you want to have a very large nest egg, or do you want to have just enough to be able to retire with dignity? Do you want to retire early? Do you want to retire with fire? Do you want to work as long as you can and have a relatively short retirement? Do you want to travel? Or do you want to keep it simple? What do you want your retirement to be? Plan your hope-filled financial future around your dream, and let that dream be the motivation that drives you to sticking with the plan that you put on paper. the plan that you wrote yourself that is uniquely yours for HopeFilled Financial FootStep number 5. And until next week, until next Tuesday, budget bravely and enjoy your HopeFilled financial future.